For those of you who do not know me, my name is Ellie Michelle. This page is all about empowering women to create fulfilling paths beyond the traditional workplace by cultivating their unique skills and talents while fostering a community that celebrates beauty, authenticity, and personal development. In this video, I wanted to finally talk about what I've learned since moving cross country from LA to Tennessee. When I was in the right headspace and to come with value, and I really wanted to see where I was at after. I've talked about it online briefly, but I knew I wanted to talk about it more. I just wanted to wait until experiencing this experience. I don't necessarily like to talk about an experience fully until I have reflected on it. And just so y'all know, I moved from LA doing hair and makeup full-time to Tennessee with my family, and I started to do makeup full-time here, which that's another video for another time. But I am naturally a city girl and I moved to the country. So what I'm going to do right now is just go over the top 3 things that I've learned since being here. So I moved to Tennessee in 2022 of June. So I've almost been here so number 1, learning how to pivot. So when I first initially moved here, I came here doing hair and makeup full time. What I was doing in LA was full-time hair and makeup, but there it's more production work and more commercial work. They don't really have that in the area that I'm in. I am, however, signed in Nashville, so I'm able to go do production work out there. But because I don't live in Nashville, I was not able to travel to Nashville every weekend and make it make sense. So I started to get into bridal hair and makeup out here, and of course it's seasonal bridal hair and makeup. So I started to get into lashes and eyebrows and started doing hair again. This is the first time that I had to pivot when I moved here because the niche or the market was not the same in LA as it is in Tennessee. That pivot, I learned to do that pretty quickly because I had to start making money. When I first moved here, I didn't have a lot of money. I was paying off debt, and it was tough at first, and I had to think of different ways to have it thrive, and also I had to figure out ways to make income, knowing that bridal just wasn't enough at the moment. Also, I was new in a new environment, so no one really knew me. I ended up doing bridal hair and makeup. I got busy doing lashes and brows. I was doing pretty well, but I was getting really burnt out. So I decided to stop doing lashes, brows, and makeup full-time, and I pivoted in another direction, which I will definitely talk about that in another video as well. And I recently just pivoted again, but learning how to pivot has been life-changing for me since my journey of being out in Tennessee. Number 2 is always be yourself. When I first visited Tennessee, I knew it was a culture shock. Which it is a culture shock. It's still a culture shock. The reason it's a culture shock is because when you are in a city, right? So I'm originally from Las Vegas, then I moved to LA, now I live in Tennessee, and the area I live in is not very diverse, and I'm gonna get to that. So when I first visited here, everything was different. Not just the people, but the atmosphere was different. Any of y'all watching this has ever moved cross country or out of the country, or from the West Coast to the East Coast, or vice versa, or from the West Coast to the East Coast to the South, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You'll understand what I mean. Initially, when I first visited, I didn't see anyone like me, especially not in the area that my parents decided to buy land. I saw no one that looked like me at all. The closest person I saw that looked like me was a cardboard, like, of a basketball player. I remember I took a photo and I was like, he's the only one that resembles me in this area. That, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, not just that, but also I'm very fashionable. I'm very girly. I like to look girly. I like to dress up. I don't dress up all the time, but I like to look cute pretty much all the time. That's just who I am. I really believe when you look good, you feel good. Here it's just different. People don't really dress up. They're very laid back, and so I really felt like a fish out of water for honestly, I'd say like the first year and a half, but that didn't stop me from being myself. And it's funny because the more people that I met, the more I saw people that were fashionable and like to dress up. That was actually really cool to see. That was one of the biggest things I'm still learning, is to always be myself. This is who I am. I like to dress up. Be who you are. They're who they are. They like to dress down. They like to be relaxed, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So it was interesting both ways. It allowed me to also allow others to be who they are. By doing that, I told myself the person next to me doesn't have to be fashionable. I am. So both are okay, essentially. Number 3. You're not always going to know what is next. I know that I was led out here by the Lord. I know that I was. I don't care what anyone says. I never was going to leave LA. Well, I was, but not as soon as I did. And for those of you who know me, makeup was really my life. No joke. Like, everything into my career, everything into my clients, everything into my business. And it was tough leaving the ideology of the life that I thought that I had a choice of having, but I made another choice. I would have to attest that to faith. Once I felt God leading me to move, I stepped out on faith. I do believe that is important. Want to let you guys know that, because what I'm about to say next does matter. You're not always going to know what is next. Let me tell y'all something. I have not known what was next since I've been here, okay? I've been literally taking it day by day, and it goes back to learning how to pivot. Since I've been here, I've been pivoting. I've had to switch gears multiple times, and I'm realizing that's okay. I've realized too that I don't have to know what is next. I just have to live each day as it comes and worry about that. And also, what I'm learning is I don't have all the answers. I'm not in control. I'm not always in control of certain events that happen in my life, but also I want to pivot and say that although I don't know what's going to happen next, I do set myself up for success. So what I do is, if I had a plan A, I'm always going to have a plan B. So for example, I was doing hair and makeup full-time out here, doing brows and lashes. I realized that I did not want to do hair and makeup, brows and lashes, longevity, because I was getting burnt out. Instead, I got a job working for a big company. I started going to college, and hair and makeup started to go part-time for me. Keep moving. I'm like, if I don't want to do this, what are my other options? I think that is very important to have, and just know that just because you don't know what's gonna always happen next, you can always set yourself up for success, okay? I don't want to make this video too long. I hope that this really helped somebody and resonated with somebody. If you guys want to know my full story about moving from LA to Tennessee, please let me know. Please leave your questions down below. I would love to hear them and answer them. I want to know 3 things I've learned just this year. If you've implemented any of the 3 things that I've mentioned, or if you see yourself implementing them in some type of way, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.